everyone, my name is Bianca, and today we are going to make this little cube that, if you can tell based off of how I'm dressed and my good friend the piranha plant back here, it is from Mario. So let's grab our supplies and get started. Before you start cutting, make sure that your assistant is well covered because it is cold. And then start cutting your pieces 5 by 5 inches, even though I messed up. Okay, so I made a bit of a mistake in cutting my pieces out. I made these. These are 5 inches by 6 inches, but I also made these smaller ones, and these are 5 inches by 5 inches. So I don't know what I did, but I cut wrong. So I have 6 squares or rectangles of each size. I'm thinking I'm going to sew these pieces up and make that cube, and thankfully I have a whole bunch of excess fabric that I save when I make items, and I can use that as a filler. So I'm thinking of doing that, but if you don't want to sew it, I think you could also use like the glue gun. That should work just as fine. But I think I'm going to use the sewing machine. Maybe I should just do one glue gun and one sewing machine so that you can see the difference as well. Oh, I don't know. I'm thinking more of the sewing machine because if anything, I can always reuse the fabric. All right, so I have my sewing machine ready in my setup. So I am going to sew these pieces together like this and like this. Then I am going to sew this here because when we put them all together, it's going to start forming that cube. I just have to figure out how to sew all of these pieces like as we get there, but just wanted to give you the layout of what I was thinking of making with this. Another thing I'm going to be using is white thread. I don't have any yellow thread, or at least enough to sew these pieces together, so I figure since it's going to be inside of the cube, it doesn't really matter. And if you see it, well then, you know, it is what it is. We use what we got. So I have these 4 pieces done. You can start to see the size of this cube. It's like really big. I didn't do much of a seam allowance. I made a very small seam because I didn't want to waste more of the fabric on this. This one is just the small cube. It's still pretty big, but I think it's going pretty well. So the thing that I'm gonna do now is put the side pieces, and I'm thinking to just do it on the very top one or bottom, whichever one, because it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna be sewing it up anyway, so it should be fine. The thing I did want to remind everyone is that if you're gonna do the seams, make sure that they're all facing the same way. I almost made a mistake and flipped it around. Remember, do not flip these pieces. Make sure that the seams are all gonna be facing inside. So just the same here, I'm going to sew these here where the seam is gonna go inwards. And then I'm gonna try folding it over and sewing it by machine still. Will it work? Maybe. I don't know. We'll see how this goes. We'll see how this goes. What's the motto for this channel? That's right. We'll see how it goes. We have this piece here, and now I am going to fold this over like this. Right? And sew down here, starting to close that off. Sew it like that. I hope that makes sense. Just, you know, sew it that way. I'll show you in a bit. There it goes. So this is what it's looking like. The next thing is the same thing. I'm just gonna flip it over and sew this section. Before I start closing it, I'm going to start sewing this other section the same way as I did the other one, because I feel like it might be a bit difficult to sew it in if the other side is fully closed. So I'll do that first. All right, so I have my little cube. It's a lot bigger than I thought. I really shouldn't have been surprised if I measured it correctly, like 5 inches-ish. It's 5 inches, so hello. Here it is. I can flip it right side out. And I don't want to make the points super pointy because the cube that I'm replicating doesn't have super pointy tips. So I am okay with it being like this. I already know what I wish I would have done. So this is what it's looking like. I'm going to have to fill it quite a bit. Again, why am I surprised? But I really shouldn't be. Then sew this part down here. You know, actually what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip it again and just leave a small opening so that my hand stitching is just gonna be a very small amount. Now that it's flipped inside out, I can fill it and just sew this section here. But as I'm thinking about it, I should have put the question marks on the cubes before I sewed it on. Because then that way, they would have already been on. So smart. But it's all right. It's okay. This is how I learn. And that's how you learn, because you're not gonna make the same mistake as I will. But it's all right. It's all right. It's okay. It's okay. So I found more filling, and here is my cube. It's kind of cute. I actually had to grab an old pillow and take out the stuffing from it. This one already had a hole, so I didn't feel that bad taking it. And so now I have more stuffing. So now that I have this here, I can sew this opening. Because of the size, I don't think I want to make the big one now. I like this size as is. It's super cute. Oh my God. It's like a cute little pillow. So I think I'm just gonna stick with this one. So I'm sorry if you wanted to look at the other one. If you want me to make the other one with hot glue, let me know in the comments below and I will do that since I already have those pieces cut out. Next step is to sew this up. It was a quick sew. I was thinking of continuing working on this, but I don't have a good white fabric to make the question marks. So hear me out. I have a lot of white fleece, and although it doesn't really fray, it can curl up. And I'm worried that it'll curl up if I just cut out the question marks, and like I was just thinking of gluing them, but probably sewing them might be better. So I worry that with that fabric, it won't be the best fabric for this. So yeah, so I'm thinking I might have to get some felt. It'll probably be a little bit better to just do it this way and it'll be kind of quick. So I may go to the art store this week. I don't know. This is gonna start my work week. Once work weeks begin, that usually means that projects are only weekend or after work. You know, I could try it with the fleece, but I don't really want to waste the fabric. I'll have to think about it. But either way, I think I'm gonna be done for tonight if I don't do the fleece. So I'll see you next time. Should I chuck this at you? Will you catch it? You better catch it, all right? 1, 2, 3. Ooh, that was on me. That was a bad throw. Hey everyone, it's the weekend. I have worked on this, but I'm not gonna say that I didn't. I made my little pattern piece for the question mark. It may be a little wonky or dirty. It's because I put it on some cardboard on the back to make it a little sturdier, but I made it out of grid paper, and I'll take a better picture of it so that you can, if you have grid paper, you can do it too. But it was fairly easy-ish. I just looked at a picture and with the grid paper drew out this piece. And then this is what the bottom looks like as well. So together they look like that. I ended up not going to the store for some felt. I just used the fleece that I have and I cut it out. And so far nothing is curling, so I'm happy with it. I did cut 4 of those pieces out and I have them laid out here. I wish I could show you. Okay, there you go. There's 3 of them. And the other one is on the little cube. It's not sewn on, nor is it glued on. So I'm still trying to decide if I should do it, if I should try to sew it on or if I should glue it. What do you think? You're not saying anything. I thought we were friends. Maybe I'll see what it looks like with one sewn and then the other one glued, and whatever option I prefer, I'll just do the other 2 that way. This is what it's looking like. While I grab some thread to sew this one, I wanted to talk about Super Mario World or Nintendo World in Universal that's coming. We tried to get some tickets to go, and unfortunately, they had an outage during the California storm that we had, so we couldn't get any, which is fine. I mean, I just want everyone to be safe, so, you know, whatever. It happens. So the tickets will be opening again soon, and we're hoping to get some tickets on Monday for one of those days, because I really want to wear this at the park. I do wish that I would be able to make like some overalls, but I don't have any blue fabric that would work for that. I even thought like maybe if I have some of that scrap jeans that I have, I actually think I do, but they wouldn't be full overalls. They would be more like shorts, because I had cut up some jeans into shorts. Classy, I know, right? I'm all about the fashion over here. Yeah, I kind of wanted some overalls, and even for the reveal of how I want to put this on, I think it would be really cute to put it and show you at the end. I mean, it's barely Saturday, the 7th. What day is it? The 7th. It's Saturday the 7th. We'll see if I can grab some. I'm just gonna keep sewing this. It didn't look bad, honestly. It looks fine. I feel like I might like how the glue will end up, just because you can see the little stitches that I'm making, but that's because I'm sewing it. Like, hello. This is taking a lot longer than I thought it would. Honestly, this is taking the appropriate time that I thought it would. Sewing by hand it takes some time. In the meantime, tell me down in the comments, like, which character was your favorite character, or if you're excited to go to Universal. I always really liked Luigi. I think it's the green. I just love green. But which one was yours? Oh, and Bowser. Oh, you know, that's a costume that I would like to make. Bowser. Let me know below if you would like me to make one. And talk to me. Sometimes I'm like right there by myself. I want to talk to people. Will you be my neighbor? All right, so I just finished sewing on this question mark, and I want to show you what that looks like. So you can see the stitches around, but it doesn't look that bad. I'm gonna try it with the glue gun, so we'll see how that looks in a sec. So this is what it looks like sewn, and this is what it looks like glued on. I don't know which one I like more, honestly. Obviously it's faster to glue it, but you see it's like lifting, so I'd have to make sure I put more glue. If you see here, it's already kind of like I put too much. I have to be very careful when I put it on. It doesn't look bad either way. I should have put it a little bit lower. Because now I cannot fix that one. So I like how this one looks. It's the sewn on side, because I was able to put it exactly where I wanted, and it's right in the center. Whereas this one, I didn't get to put it in the center. I put it way high up here. And unfortunately, when it's glued on, I can't really take it off, because then you're gonna see the residue of glue on the cube. So that's one negative. You know, but it was way easier, honestly. Like, I just put it in there. I have 2 other sides. I can do 1 and 1. I'll decide and then I'll be back in like a few seconds for you. I ended up sewing the remaining question marks on the cube. I just didn't like how it looked glued. I remembered that the cube has these little bolts on the corners of each question mark. So I grabbed some mustard yarn and began embroidering, or what I thought is embroidering, little circles on each corner next to the question marks. Once those little bolts are done, you have finished creating your little Mario cube. So now that we have our little cube, I have decided that I can put it on my hat that I crocheted. So if you'd like to learn how I crocheted this hat, please let me know in the comments below and maybe I'll create a video for you as well. I thought about putting it up here and that way I can wear it at the park. Or I can just have it around the house. Either way, I really like this little project. It was quick, and if you do it the right way of putting the question marks before you start sewing the whole piece together, you'll be done a lot faster than I was. But I think this looks great. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a like and consider subscribing to see more videos like this one. If you do happen to make this Mario cube, please make sure to share it with me on Instagram. I always love seeing your makes. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. What is that thing called? Oh my god. You know it comes in like sheets? What is it called? And it is killing me that I don't know what it's called. Oh my gosh. Flannel? No, it's not flannel. What is it called? Anyway, felt. Oh my gosh, it's felt. Okay. Let's get it. Let's get it started. Yeah.